And where are you going?
Come on! We're going to Istanbul!
That's correct, we are going to
Istanbul!
So please follow our planning
Our flights to Istanbul.
and our everyday adventures.
And please remember to subscribe to our channel.
And follow our journey. Good day Internet, welcome back to my channel. Well, I intend to bring back a series of videos of our Istanbul trip, and therefore I invite you to subscribe to my channel and to follow our videos. In this first video, I want to explain the planning, the preparation and the booking that's necessary for such an overseas adventure. You can of course follow the easy step by visiting your local travel agent. They offer well-planned and pre-organized trips for 5 or 10 days. Their trips normally include flights, hotel accommodation and a visit to several tourist attractions. But this all comes at quite a hefty price. Self-planning means a longer stay, maybe even 20 or 30 days. You can plan your own itinerary at your own time, and of course all at a low budget cost and maybe even at a third of the price. I want to divide this planning into 4 categories. First the flights, then the visa requirements, the hotel accommodations and lastly the itinerary. But let's start at number 1, the flights. To book a flight is very simple, it's just a matter of Google it. But there's a few tricks to get the best offer. Firstly, make sure that you make your booking at least 3 to 4 months and even longer in advance. Then be flexible on your travel dates. And lastly, don't rush your search. When you go onto Google, you just type in the city of departure and of arrival. For me it will be flights from Cape Town to Istanbul. A number of sites will appear. Cheap flights, Travel Start, Emirates and so on and so on. Choose at least 5 of these sites for your search. Fill in your travel dates and search the flights on various sites. You will find that the prices on the sites might vary. Take a piece of paper and write down the various sites and their prices. You will find that flights will be cheaper outside peak season, such as the South African holidays or the European breaks. But beware of midsummer in South Africa while it's freezing cold and snowing in Europe. During your search, you must change your travel dates. Flights may be cheaper on a Saturday or a Wednesday or even on a Friday, so chop and change the dates to get the best option. I've also discovered that it's sometimes cheaper to do your flight search on a Wednesday rather than a Saturday or any other day. So spend 10 minutes a day on your flight search. Have fun, you might be surprised with the special price that you discover. Another tip is not to go for the cheapest option with a too long layover at the change of flights. Some flights offer a low price with a layover of 36 hours or more. This will mean that you have to book accommodation at the changeover airport, which will increase your travel costs. You need enough time for your connecting flight. 2 or 3 hours is normally sufficient, even at larger airports. Once you have found the best offer, you have to make the booking by completing the information such as your personal details, your telephone number and your email address. You also need to do an electronic payment of the total cost to confirm your booking. When your booking is complete, you will receive an email of confirmation. Later you will also receive an e-ticket. On the e-ticket is all the passenger information and your flight details. My advice is that you print a hard copy as you need to present this when booking in for your flight at the airport. Presenting the e-ticket on a cell phone is also permitted. Now that you've booked and paid for your flights, it's time to go to the next step, the visas. Make sure that you know and understand the visa requirements for the country that you are about to visit, as each country differs from the other. For example, in Thailand, a South African citizen does not need a visa when visiting this country for less than 30 days. There are some 90 countries that's visa-free for South African citizens. Another example is when you visit Vietnam, you have to apply online and receive a letter of approval. This letter has to be presented at the airport in Vietnam when arriving. You have to pay $50 in cash and a visa is then issued. Schengen visums for the Europe visit and visas for the USA is a different ballgame, and you might have to visit their embassy for this application. Turkey, however, has an e-visa system. That means that you apply online. A visa is issued via email within 30 minutes of your application. You need to pay $40 per person for each visa. I would advise you to print this visa document, as you need to present this when booking in for your flight at the airport. You of course also need to present this at the customs on arrival in Turkey. Make sure that your passport has sufficient blank pages and is valid for at least 6 months from the date of departure. Now that you've got your visa sorted, let's go to the next step, the booking of accommodation. Booking of accommodation is just another matter of Google it, but it's unfortunately not just a 5-minute job. I will advise you to do your homework and study the city that you're about to visit. Familiarize yourself with tourist attractions, public transport, restaurants and places of interest. Spend time on the internet, watch a lot of YouTube videos and make sure of the area that you would prefer to stay. Go onto the internet and type in accommodation in Istanbul. You will notice that several sites will appear, sites like booking.com, hotel.com, TripAdvisor and so on and so on. You can choose any of these sites for your search. I prefer booking.com as they are a user-friendly site and I had success with all my overseas trips. Now type in the dates that you would like to stay. You will notice that a few thousand hotels will appear. You should now filter your search with your preferences, things like the area that you want to stay, breakfast included, free Wi-Fi. You can fill in like close to city centre or public transport. You can look at payment options and free cancellation. You should filter your search down to about 4 or 5 hotels. It is then time to read the reviews and study the available photos. I also spend time on Google Earth and walk the streets to know the surrounding areas. At this stage, it should be easy to make your first choice of accommodation. Complete your details and confirm your booking. You will receive a booking confirmation via email. Print this document so that you can hand it to the taxi driver for directions. As we will be staying in several different areas, it will be necessary for us to do the same exercise for each and every area that we want to stay in. This might sound like a lot of effort, but have fun in the search of your booking accommodation. Now let's go to the final step, the itinerary or travel diary. The itinerary or travel diary is to me one of the most important points of your travel planning. The world out there has so many opportunities to travel and to explore. You might only visit a city or a country once in your lifetime. It is therefore important that you plan your trip well and make the most of it. I cannot emphasize more than enough that you have to spend time on the internet, read travel blogs, watch a lot of YouTube videos on the city that you're about to visit. Educate yourself on tourist attractions, places of interest, public transport and so on and so on. But let's first find out where Lizelle wants to go.
I want to go to Galata Tower. I want to go to the Spice Market. I want to go to the Grand Bazaar. I want to go to Princess Islands. And I want to ride the metro, the bus, the ferry, the tram. And I want to eat street food. And most of all, I want to go shopping.
Blah, 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 blah.
Most definitely a tall order, so it needs a proper planning. I start my itinerary from the moment that I leave home. I type in the date, the time, flight details, accommodation details, the mode of transport and even the cost. For Istanbul, I will diarize every travel day. I will not only complete the dates but also the times that I can make sure I have a full day of experiences. With the diarizing of such an itinerary, you can plan well and make sure that you visit and experience as much as possible and not return home realizing that you've missed out on several things. Type a hard copy of your itinerary and keep it on hand for easy reference. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and if you did, please press that like button and give it a thumbs up. I invite you to comment in the comment section below on your travel advice. Enjoy your travel planning and go and see the world. Remember to subscribe and follow our journey. And until the next video, cheers.